Today on Drawbli, we are drawing
the new Pokemon.
the new Pokemon, that's right. And if you are new around here, you should click that subscribe button and maybe let us know down in the comments of something else we could draw in the future, something cool. Maybe some more Pokemon.
Maybe some more Pokemon. I'd probably have to learn some more names.
So, as you saw there, we are actually recording our audio in post here. We're trying something a little different so that we can give our brains a break from trying to talk and draw at the same time. I forgot to record my initial sketch, which is why it sped up so quickly there.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I ended up using that like little time-lapse export feature to get to where it is right now.
Oh, okay, cool. So, I was going to say, what's the name of these Pokemon?
Yeah.
I gotta confess, I drew this Pokemon more than once, and I don't actually know her
I'm actually going to look it up because I totally forgot as well. I should know. It is my responsibility to know
as
because this was my prompt, and I am a Pokemon enthusiast. That's right. Can you tell me a little bit about your drawing process and your Pokemon over there? I see you redrawing.
You redraw this line 5 million times.
I see you redrawing the same shape just about 100 million times. Like literally, I'm sitting here. This is like the 10th time.
Well,
What's going on there? Tell me about that.
I had watched a tutorial on YouTube. I'm really into the whole tutorial scene right now, and I was modifying it to fit my needs for this character. But the girl in the video did the same line for a cat she was drawing, and she said, I just did this perfectly, but it did also take me 45 tries to get exactly what I wanted. So I decided to give myself tries. You know, I was like, well, if it took her 45 tries, I can take a few tries too.
Yeah. I mean, it's the perfect shape, and now it's gone. And now you're redoing it again.
Because I did it on the wrong layer.
So your Pokemon's name is Sprigatito.
Sprigatito.
I think
like
they're
spaghetti.
I think they're all based on Spanish words.
But they look like pasta.
They look like pasta. And Fuecoco is the red boy on the left.
Fuecoco.
Yeah.
So what is Fuecoco like?
He is a pear and an alligator combined.
Oh, okay.
But he's a fire Pokemon. So a lot of people thought he was an apple, but I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be a pear.
A red pear, because pears. Well, maybe it's just an archetype.
Well, he's a fire. No, he's a fire Pokemon, so they have to use red. And yours is a grass Pokemon, so they have to use green.
Exactly.
It's just the rules of the world. But do you see all my cool colors that I have on screen there?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so I was trying something called color vibrations, and I learned about this in a Marco Bucci video. Shout out.
I want to watch.
Yeah, for sure. So I tried to play around with this idea, this concept, and the basic idea is that you can essentially create something that still feels red, even if you throw yellows and greens and pinks in there.
I have got to watch this.
And it'll still, look at that. Like, there's yellows, there's pinks up there. I don't get them in until later.
I'm always mystified by that concept when I see people painting skin and using straight up, big blops of blue and
Big blops
green.
of blue is the name of this episode now. Thank you.
I get it because it looks cohesive, but I want to learn more about that. That's so cool.
Yeah, the idea is to imitate real life, which is really cool because in real life, something isn't just a straight up red, you know? Like an apple. When you look at an apple, it's got all these imperfections in the skin. It's got all these little bits of texture, bumps that make the light hit it differently. There's tons of stuff that really just completely changes the feeling. But you look at an apple and your brain says red.
Yeah.
Even though it's not entirely red.
That's so cool. Oh, look at his little belt buckle.
Well, it's not a belt buckle. It's like a weird patch. There was actually a tweet I saw where someone pointed this yellow patch out on this Pokemon. And there's another fire Pokemon starter. I think its name is Bunnery.
Okay.
It's a bunny.
Yeah,
and
obviously.
It's got the exact same yellow patch, but on its nose, right between its eyes.
Maybe the same artist for Nintendo designed those two Pokemon.
Yeah, it might just be some kind of little element to tie them together. I'm not sure. They might have just reused it. Here's this little idea that worked once, and we're going to do it again. But
well, he's cute. Oh, I see you stretching him out now a little bit, playing with your your proportions.
Yeah, I wanted to try to draw him in a different pose as well.
Yeah, and from a straight-on view too, I see.
Yeah, so like I was just trying to like understand his shapes, and the 3/4 view felt overplayed from all the art I'd seen. A lot of it was just like a redraw of the original pose and everything, so I wanted to try something a little different.
Look at his 3 teeth. That's really cute.
Yeah, I like him. Tell me more about your leaf over there and what you got going on.
Yeah.
You have a lot of very clean shapes. Oh, and we should also mention, at the end here, we'll show Abby's other version of this.
Oh, that was tragic.
She drew she painted this Pokemon once before, and it was really cool. Here it is up on screen. We'll show it here, but we'll show the process at the end, too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it didn't record.
And it didn't record. But actually, I felt really good about that because I wasn't totally satisfied with my first attempt. And I really thought this would be a really fun opportunity to learn and practice a new style. So I saw a video by somebody who was drawing a cat, a brown cat, where its head was the stone of an avocado. So the leaf I have there was actually an avocado. Yeah, I thought it was really cute. And the style was really outside of my typical wheelhouse. So I was like, I want to learn something new. So I was like, well, I'll make the avocado a leaf and I'll make the tail match the tail. But obviously things are a little different here. I just added this leaf on its back because I figured, why not? But yeah, it was
Well, he turns out super cute because I've seen the end already. I've seen him.
He's
very fun.
What did you say this Pokemon's name was? Sprigatito?
Sprigatito.
Oh, I was really close.
Like a
sprig?
Sprigatito.
Sprigatito.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, he turned out really good. He's really fun.
Yeah.
It's cool to see your process now that you're like going in and adding some of these other shapes. So some of these are shadow shapes, but some of them are also like little bits of texture on the back.
Yeah, like little areas where the fur would have been a different color. I tried to add the cat's little leaf collar, just a different kind of simpler take on it.
Yeah.
It didn't really get to what I thought maybe I could have been capable of doing, but I was okay with that. I was like, it's a green cat. I think my intent here is relatively clear.
Yeah. So do you end up doing the texture on the face, like that leaf shape on its face?
Yeah, I think I'm putting that in now, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Wow, art in action. So cool.
You can see over on my guy how I'm starting to add those color variations. It starts out very messy because I'm just like, it's my first time doing it. Which isn't
normally your style. You're much more one to like fill in a space very cleanly and have kind of that look of more of a filled in space. I think getting into these colors will really allow you to explore texture a lot more, which will be really fun.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this was me just like playing around, seeing what worked, seeing what didn't. Some of it, like, it's hard because what I did was I made this really rigid shape, and then I'm trying to make all these crazy color variations inside of that, and it's like a rigid style with a loose painting technique, and I feel like those were really mismatched, and it was really hard for me to, like, kind of let loose with that idea. So if I were to do this again, which I probably will, this color vibration idea,
I really want to learn about this.
I'd be a lot more loose with, how I tackle it in the future, like being free to paint outside the lines.
Ooh, yeah, I want to try it really badly. Maybe we'll try it or I'll watch the video and try it on an upcoming video.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be really, really fun. That's so funny that you were getting into kind of a more messy style with this piece, which is not your go-to, and I am experimenting with a lot more of a clean approach, which is not my go-to. I'm usually very messy, but not in a thoughtful color theory kind of way.
Just messy
of color
because
vibrancy.
That's who you are as a person.
Well, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, yours is very almost like vector art style. I don't think you've ever done anything with like vectors before, like Adobe Illustrator. It's probably something that you would be like against. I feel like you might the whole idea is that you're not like creating brush strokes really, you're just creating curves that create shapes. So it's hyper clean.
Oh no, I think there's definitely a place and a time for that I would enjoy. In this instance, for example, like this style looks, I feel like, best if it's super duper clean. And so being able to do that even better would be really satisfying. Look at me trying to place his eyes.
Yeah, you gotta 10 tries later. So what brush were you using for that?
Maybe I think the monoline.
Okay.
Calligraphy monoline.
I normally use the syrup brush. I don't use the monoline.
I just use the monoline because the tutorial I watched recommended it. It's got a very high level of flow, meaning that like
very smooth.
Yeah, it's very, very smooth. And I even tried to duplicate the brush to go into its settings to see if I could increase the flow, and that's how I found out it's already at the max flow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're like, I need more.
I need more flow.
More power. More flow.
Yeah.
I like his little tongue in his mouth there. That's really cute.
Yeah.
He's got a really fun face.
Mm-hmm.
I like this style, like something that's like really simple but really expressive.
I do too.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of the time I think people conflate simple with easy, and I would say that those two are like pretty far apart.
I have a lot of respect for artists that are able to effectively use this style because it's not forgiving. You know, if something isn't exactly right or proportions aren't just right, your thing is not going to look as cute.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at animation. The whole idea with animation, like 2D animation specifically, is to simplify shapes, like whether you're looking at Western or Eastern animation. The basic idea there is to create something simple so that it's easier to animate. Like, we recently, in the past year, watched all of Avatar, The Last Airbender. And just, like, that art style, super iconic, bordering on anime. Or if not, like, the style you could consider anime. But, I don't know if I could imagine that show with a different art style.
At this point, probably not.
Yeah, I mean, it fits the tone of the show really well.
They've tried to remake it as a live movie before, and that did not go well.
That was M. Night Shyamalan's biggest failure.
Yeah, he didn't really hit the mark there.
he's missed the mark a few times, but
but that's because there's not everything is going to be a success, and I think
live action animation has always been a failure.
I can't think of any times off the top of my head where it's really hit home.
A lot of the time, I just refuse to watch them anymore because I know it just adds to, like, them thinking, like, oh, people want this. Nobody wants this. No, like, I can't imagine anybody wanting it. It's just so bad all the time.
The only times I've enjoyed it, I just thought of this, but it doesn't really apply quite as well, is the live-action remake of The Lion King.
Oh, that's actually a really good example of the original. Like, sure, that movie's, like, cool. It's technically amazing. But in 10, 20 years, we're going to look back and say, like, oh, wow, that doesn't look as good as we thought it did. Also, because of the style of the other show, I was watching this video that was actually talking about style. And it was comparing, it was the scene where Rafiki, holds up Simba on the rock, right? Very iconic scene. And it was showing side by side the realistic and the, obviously Disney style cartoon version. And it was just talking about, like, which one feels more, like, emotive, more appealing. And, like, the one on the left is, like, a cat being held up in the air. And the other one, it's, like, really expressive eyes. And Simba's, like, in shock and awe. And he's, like, got his eyes open really wide. And his mouth's hanging open. And he's looking down at all the people. And it's, like, so much more emotive than the realistic one,
because of what they're able to do with that particular art style. That's so interesting.
And graphics have always done the exact same thing, where we're like, wow, that looks so good, that looks so amazing, that looks so real. And then, like, 2 years later we look back and we're like, what were we thinking? Wow.
I'm looking at you, Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider?
PS1 or whatever.
The Polygon Boob Tomb Raider. Yeah, that's a great example. I don't think we ever thought that looked realistic or anything. But that was like back when 3D was super
options.
new. Yeah, we had very limited options. It was made out of like 50 polys. That thing was so low. It's crazy. But you can see with my guy here, I've kind of cleaned up.
Look at that blue you chose. That's an awesome shade of blue. I love it.
Thank you. Picked it myself.
Did
I pretty
you
much
really?
invented that blue.
No, you didn't.
But I painted out a lot of the color variation in the character, but there's still like hints of it there. So like he's still got some variation, but it's more subdued.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
it gives him a slightly still more painterly look, though.
Yeah,
and I like that.
I wanted to give him a fun little background here. So I was trying some of the color vibration things for the background as well to play around with that. I like the light that you're doing for the back of the cat there.
Thank you.
How did you pick that color?
I messed around with these yellow shades. Honestly, it's all from the YouTube tutorial.
Is it a layer effect?
It
looks
is
like
a layer effect. This
opacity.
I used for the shadows. I think I used overlay, and for the light, I use add.
Oh, really? Add? Huh.
Yep. And actually, I've seen a couple tutorials now that have used add
I
for
like
their
never use
light.
add as a.
I'm sure there's very similar ones, but these just happen to be the ones I'm being introduced to, which is something to think about, because I think that's a thing. If you kind of may stick with what you're introduced to initially. So there might be a really, really good option, but I may use add for the next 10, 20, 50 years.
Wow, that's a lot of years.
And never deviate, because it's what I just know.
Yeah, I pretty much use, like if I'm going to do a light layer, I often use soft light, or I kind of like color dodge or linear dodge occasionally, but I feel like it does come down to preference and like what you're used to. But hey, let's watch your little time lapse here of your guy, because we're getting near the end of the other video. So let's check him out. I'm really excited to see how you did this. So this one like a lot more loose? It looks like you started off with some line drawings. That's actually really good.
Oh, thank you.
That first face was super good.
Oh, thank you.
And you're like, no, not good enough.
Well, again, I, being a humble creature that I am,
I
was using a tutorial of a cat. It was a cat tutorial that
Another cat tutorial.
Well, because this Pokemon, let's not.
Cat.
It's kind of a cat.
Oh, what's so funny about the eyes, now that I'm watching you do this, there was like a whole thread about how the eyes were off angle or off kilter. And so many people were agreeing with it and all this stuff, and then finally somebody way down in the thread is like, yo, it's in perspective a little bit. It's just like, that's what's going on there.
Oh, yeah. I did struggle with that a little bit. But there it is.
He's so cute.
Yeah.
Is so
I wasn't
cute.
sure I was thrilled with
job.
the leaves I added around him.
Around him? I think they're fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like them.
But it was fun to do. And it used a lot of the same principles I used in this other one. Of overlay and add, and how you add your shadows. So I thought that was really fun to reinforce what I had learned in this first attempt, when I also watched a tutorial by a totally different artist on the second one, where they're both using, I believe it was overlay for the shadows and add for your highlights.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really, really fun.
Which do you like more between this cat and your more simplified?
I like my more simplified cat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's such a
really
fun
fun
art style.
Yeah, it is really fun.
Yeah, and like we were just talking about, like I have nothing but respect for people who can create this kind of appealing character, because it's not intuitive. You can't just draw what you see in life. You have to go so much more beyond that. I know.
Wow.
That's pretty deep. Not that my other one is something you necessarily see in life. It is a green cat.
It is a green cat, yes.
But I was pretty pleased with my first attempt, how I gave him the tufts on the sides of his face.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I think you did a really good job with both of these.
Yeah, I'll definitely link both artists' tutorials in the description so that you can see what I was working off of if you're curious, how I adapted it. But yeah, it was fun. Oh, look at your guy in his background. It looks like a painting. Oh my gosh.
It looks like a painting?
I mean,
wow.
It looks like a paint. Yeah,
I've done it.
No, that's
Everybody, I've done it. I've created something that looks like a painting.
I wish I'll have to go back and rewatch this and pay attention to how you made the sky. Because the
Top
sky,
secret technique.
Does the sky use that color vibration technique you were
It does
talking
use
about?
vibrance vibration, yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. I do some color. I mean, you can see like greens and reds and all sorts of crazy stuff back there.
I love it.
But hey, that's gonna be a good place for us to hit pause till our next episode. So I think that'll do it for us. Click that subscribe button if you're new around here, and check down below for some links to some other recent videos.
Yeah, and definitely comment and let us know what you think you'd like to see us do next.
And this is the part where we say
Goodbye.
You did a really good job. I mean, considering you drew your cat twice.
I know. I'm glad I did. But I really, really like yours. I love the painterliness of it. I'm going to catch up to you on that skill.
Good job.
Yeah, that was good.